Most people think wealth leaves because life is unfair, income is too low, or opportunity is too far away. But sometimes, wealth leaves for a quieter reason. It cannot stay where there is no order. Money may enter a chaotic life, but it rarely remains there for long. It comes in, touches the surface, creates temporary relief, and then disappears through invisible exits. A forgotten payment, a careless habit, an emotional purchase, a disorganized system, a decision made under pressure. A life with no structure becomes a place where resources cannot rest. That is why this episode matters. Because wealth does not only respond to effort. Wealth responds to order. It responds to structure. It responds to stewardship. It responds to the inner architecture of the person handling it. If your mind is chaotic, your money will often become chaotic. If your environment is chaotic, your choices will often become chaotic. If your standards are chaotic, your financial life will eventually reveal it. The spiritual principle for today is simple. Order attracts stability. Disorder invites leakage. This is not superstition. This is not vague manifestation language. This is consequence. A disordered inner life produces disordered decisions. Disordered decisions produce disordered results. And disordered results create the feeling that money is always escaping you, even when money is entering your life. The question is not only, how much money do I need? The deeper question is, can my current level of order hold the money I say I want? Because if order is missing, more money may only make the disorder more expensive. A chaotic person with little money has small leaks. A chaotic person with more money often has larger leaks. The numbers change, but the identity remains the same. The lifestyle expands, but the inner structure does not. The appearance improves, but the system remains weak. That is why wealth deserts a chaotic mind. Not because the person is cursed, not because prosperity is unavailable, but because wealth needs a container, and order is one of the first signs that the container is becoming strong. Let us bring this into the money and mindset bridge. Money is a material resource, but your relationship with money is deeply psychological and spiritual. Money reveals how you relate to time, desire, pressure, discipline, truth, and responsibility. If you avoid truth, you will avoid financial clarity. If you live by impulse, your spending will reflect impulse. If you cannot govern emotion, money will become a tool for emotional relief. If you normalize disorder, your finances will eventually become another room in the same disorder. This is why financial chaos is rarely only financial. Often, it is the visible expression of invisible disorder. The account is not the beginning. The account is a mirror. The late payment is not the beginning. It is a symptom. The unnecessary purchase is not the beginning. It is evidence. The repeated money stress is not the beginning. It is a signal that something deeper needs order. And this is where many people misunderstand prosperity. They think prosperity is mainly about receiving more. But real prosperity is also about organizing what you receive, protecting what you receive, and assigning purpose to what you receive. Money without order becomes movement without direction. It moves in, it moves out, it passes through, it disappears. But money with order becomes a tool. It is assigned, it is protected, it is directed. It begins to serve construction instead of emotion. This is the difference between someone who receives money and someone who stewards money. A receiver celebrates the arrival. A steward prepares the container. A receiver asks, "What can this money do for my comfort right now?" A steward asks, "What must this money build, protect, or strengthen?" A receiver feels relief. A steward creates order. That distinction changes everything. Let me give you a story. Imagine two people walking into the same room. The first person enters a room filled with scattered papers, open boxes, unfinished notes, broken items, unpaid bills, clothes on the floor, and objects with no place. Nothing is necessarily dramatic, but nothing is ordered. Every corner holds a small decision that has been delayed. Now imagine that this person receives an important document, a document that could change their future. Maybe a contract, maybe an opportunity, maybe an invitation. They place it somewhere for now. But in a room where everything is for now, important things disappear. Days pass. The document is missing. Stress rises. Blame begins. I thought I put it here. Maybe someone moved it. I don't understand how this happened. But the truth is simple. The document did not disappear because the person lacked opportunity. It disappeared because the environment had no order. Now imagine the second person. Their room is not luxurious. It is not perfect. But it is ordered. Important things have a place. Papers are separated. Tools are arranged. Bills are visible. Notes are kept. There is breathing space. There is structure. When the same important document arrives, it does not become another piece of chaos. It is placed where it belongs. It is reviewed. It is acted upon. The opportunity does not get lost because the environment is ready to hold it. Now take that room and replace it with the mind. Some people want wealth, but their inner room is full of unfinished decisions, emotional noise, financial avoidance, unexamined desires, scattered commitments, and delayed responsibilities. So when money comes, it enters a system that has no clear place for it. It gets absorbed by the chaos. Other people may not have everything yet, but their inner room is becoming ordered. They know what matters. They know what must be protected. They know what must be delayed. They know what must be refused. They know what must be built. So when money comes, it has a place to go. That is the law of order. Wealth does not need perfection, but it does need structure. A chaotic mind asks for more while refusing to organize what is already present. An ordered mind starts organizing before more arrives. And that is why order is an act of faith. Not the emotional kind of faith that waits for miracles without responsibility. The disciplined kind of faith that prepares the ground before the harvest appears. If you believe your life can rise, create order. If you believe you can hold more, create order. If you believe prosperity is possible, create order where you are. Because order tells your future, there is a place for you here. Now, let us identify the signs that wealth is being pushed away by disorder. The first sign is financial avoidance. If you avoid looking at your numbers, disorder is already governing. Avoidance gives anxiety more power. What remains unseen often becomes exaggerated in the mind. A simple review becomes frightening because the mind has turned it into a monster. But clarity is rarely as heavy as avoidance. The moment you look, you begin to take back authority. The second sign is emotional spending. When money becomes medication for stress, boredom, insecurity, loneliness, or frustration, the financial problem is not only spending. The deeper problem is emotional disorder. The money is being used to regulate a self that has not learned how to pause, breathe, decide, and govern. The third sign is unfinished financial loops. Unpaid attention, unreviewed accounts, subscriptions you forgot, plans you never completed, budgets you started and abandoned, notes you wrote but never used. Each open loop consumes mental space, and when your mind is full of open loops, it becomes difficult to build with strength. The fourth sign is a disordered environment. Your desk, files, phone, folders, inbox, wallet, and workspace are not separate from your prosperity. They influence how you think. They influence how quickly you act. They influence whether you can find information, make decisions, and protect what matters. External disorder often trains internal disorder. The fifth sign is unclear assignment. Money enters, but it has no defined purpose, no clear percentage, no container, no priority, no rule. So it obeys whatever emotion is loudest that day. That is how wealth deserts a chaotic mind. Not all at once, quietly, repeatedly, through small exits that look harmless until they become a pattern. Now we move into the practice. I call this protocol the Order Audit. This is not a complicated system. It is a restoration exercise. It is a way to prove to yourself that your financial identity is becoming more structured. Step 1. Choose one area of financial disorder. Do not choose everything. Choose one. Maybe it is your bank review. Maybe it is your subscriptions. Maybe it is your workspace. Maybe it is your receipts. Maybe it is your spending impulses. Maybe it is your monthly bills. Maybe it is your digital files. Maybe it is your habit of ignoring small financial decisions. Choose one area where disorder is currently draining power. Step 2. Name the cost of that disorder. Ask yourself, what is this disorder costing me? Is it costing money? Is it costing peace? Is it costing time? Is it costing confidence? Is it costing self-respect? Is it costing opportunity? This matters because people tolerate disorder when they do not calculate its price. Step 3. Create one order rule. A rule is a standard that removes negotiation. For example, I review my money every evening for 10 minutes. I cancel every subscription I do not use. I wait 24 hours before non-essential purchases. I keep all financial documents in one folder. I assign every incoming amount a purpose before spending. I do not make financial decisions when emotionally activated. The rule must be simple, clear, and repeatable. Step 4. Create one visible order action today. Not tomorrow, today. Clean the financial folder. Review the account. Cancel the leak. Organize the workspace. Write the simple money rule. Create the savings container. List the monthly essentials. Close one financial loop. The action must be visible because visible order trains internal authority. Step 5. Repeat this for 7 days. For 7 days, choose one order action per day. Small is acceptable. Real is required. At the end of each day, write one sentence. Today, I made my life more capable of holding prosperity. That sentence is not motivation. It is evidence. You are building a new identity through proof. Now here is your immediate action step. Before this day ends, close one area of disorder that has been quietly weakening your financial life. Choose one of these. Review your last 7 days of spending. Cancel one unnecessary subscription. Clean one financial folder. Write one rule for emotional spending. Assign a clear purpose to the next money that enters your hands. Organize the physical or digital space where you make financial decisions. Do one of them today. Do not wait until you feel ready. Order creates readiness. That is the secret many people miss. They wait for confidence before creating structure, but structure creates confidence. They wait for more money before becoming organized, but organization prepares them to hold more money. They wait for life to calm down before choosing discipline, but discipline is what calms the life. So begin with order. Not grand order, not perfect order, one act of order. Because when you organize one part of your life, you send a message to your identity: I am no longer available for chaos. And when that message is repeated, your decisions begin to change. Your money begins to change. Your peace begins to change. Your future begins to change. Now let us close with a declaration. I am ordered. I do not invite prosperity into chaos. I prepare the ground. I assign purpose. I close leaks. I face truth. I govern emotion. I respect resources. I build a life where wealth can remain, grow, and serve a higher purpose. Wealth does not need noise. Wealth needs order. If this message exposed an area of disorder in your life, do not ignore it. Subscribe to the I Am Impact and continue this work, because disciplined prosperity begins where inner chaos ends. Restore self, build wealth, leave legacy.